Hi, I'm Mandy and welcome to my Retirement Horizons. If you're new here, I started this video channel a few months ago when I was a few months away from retiring. My husband's been retired for years and finally it's my turn. Time has been passing by now and I'm just a couple of weeks away from retiring. I'm so excited, I cannot wait. Today, I'm going to show you our brand new motorhome. Since we purchased it a couple of months ago, we've spent a bit of time working out what we need for it, what we need to put in it to make it more comfortable for us, storage solutions, equipment that we might need on the road, everything that makes our little motorhome a cozy home away from home on wheels. Let me show you what we've done. Okay, first of all, if we start with our electronic step, it's one of the things that amuses Nick the most, I think. The built-in fly screens have already proven to be very useful when we've been in locations with lots of flies. You know, they're easily zipped and they're also magnetic, so getting in and out of the vehicle without letting the flies in is fantastic. Okay, so they just roll up, you unzip them, and you just roll them up to get it out of the way if you don't need it. Okay, so one of the first things we did was buy seat covers for our seats. The seat covers are waterproof, they'll protect the seats, and it means that we can jump in and out of the vehicle with wet bathers or wet towels or whatever, and the seats won't get damaged. Let's look at our bathroom. We wanted to make the bathroom as comfy as possible, given it's a small space, and we wanted everything to be quite usable. So we inserted a few hooks on the wall. They're just the suction type hooks that you can get from Bunnings, but so far they've worked really, really well. It takes things like our face washers, combs, and our hand towel. We also bought a suction type basket for the wall, and we were lucky enough to search for some shampoo and soap bottles which fit perfectly into the container, so there's very little movement when we're driving. Inside the vanity cupboard, we just inserted a few little containers in here to make sure that everything that's in there while we're traveling doesn't move and they can stay there permanently. Okay. We also found a stick-on toilet roll holder, which works quite well, and because it sits behind the shower curtain, doesn't get wet when we use the shower. The wardrobe works really well. We don't use it very often for hanging clothes because we try not to take clothes that need to be hung. Recently though, when we went to our daughter's engagement, we needed to have really good clothes, so we had them all hanging up in here. Okay, the bottom half is also a wardrobe, but because we don't need two wardrobes, we just turned it into a pantry with some slide-out baskets so we can store foods and other items in there. The cupboard over the microwave we decided to use for storing things that we want to have easy to access. For example, we have our everyday first aid items, Band-Aids, Panadol, etc. We also have a basket that keeps the equipment that we might need every so often. Hairdryer, steamer, iron, and a straightener. Now the steamer and iron I bought recently when we went to my daughter's engagement, and I realised that we might just need to be able to steam our clothes. So just keeping it up there out of the way is great. I also purchased this fantastic little basket from Amazon. Now I found that when we stay in caravan parks and I want to go to the shower block, it's very easy to put all my toiletries, clothes and towels in there, and it folds up out of the way when I'm not using it. Some of the advice that we had from other people who already have motorhomes is not to let food bits go down into your grey water tank. So in order to sort that out, we bought a little collapsible sink that we can use when we want to do the dishes. And then if there's a place for us to tip the water out to, we can do that quite easily and not get the food bits in our grey water tank. Folds down easily and stores in the sink out of the way when it's not in use. One of the other things we added was a piece of wood on top of the gas cooker so that we can use it while it's cooling down. When you've used the gas cookers, you can't close the lid because it's glass, So by putting the wood here, it extends our bench space and it allows us to close the lid if you have to. We added hooks for hanging tea towels, dishcloths, etc. Making use of the space, I added a plant just to bring some life to the camper van. I'm hoping it grows. We'll see what happens. We added a paper towel holder. We added a couple of extra storage spaces against the wall just to help keep those little things easily accessible for us. In the overhead cupboards, these are our spaces that we use for clothes. I've added a shelf and some baskets. I'm not convinced that the shelf is great. It's still in trial mode. I'm thinking that I lose too much space using the shelf. It's still under test. In the back cupboard, we use this for shoes. So we added a couple of baskets just so that we can chuck our shoes in there quite easily and keep everything contained. We have some extra space, so we've used those corners for things that we don't necessarily use all the time, but we want to make sure that we have them. We have bathers or swimmers and towels, reef shoes, so that they're always there when we need them. Okay, one of the other things that was important for us was having space for our little dog to sit safely when we're driving along. If anybody has a little dog, they know that little dogs like to see out the window. So sitting anywhere else where it couldn't see out the window wasn't an option. So we devised this little setup for our dog. A little dog bed, and then we found a couple of harnesses which we bolted into the side of our storage boxes. And if you just look in here, you can see that it's bolted in, and we have one on each side. So when the doggy sits in its bed, it's harnessed in by the straps and is very secure. It can sleep, it can watch out the window, it can do whatever it needs to do. We also have the fans turned on if we think it's a bit hot down here, and it keeps the dog cool all the time. It's a perfect setup. And here she is. Okay, in our drawers here, we spent a bit of time sorting out what we wanted to have in each drawer and how it worked for us. For example, I needed a little bit more space for toiletries because the bathroom is so small. So I put this little box in here with extra toiletries for me so that it's easy to get to on a daily basis, and I can just get it out and take it to the shower as well if I want to. In the second drawer, this has got all our dishes in here. We found these great little storage containers at IKEA, and they fit in the drawers perfectly and keep all the dishes separate and stop them from rattling. Just a few pots and pans in there. Over here we found some cutlery containers that fitted into the drawer perfectly. Again, helps stop everything rattling and keeps everything in its place. And of course, down in the bottom drawer, we've got the essential coffee pod machine, the air fryer, kettle, and the gas cooker toaster. This overhead shelf is really useful, and so we try and keep things up here that we want to get to quite easily. We keep a basket up here full of dog things. We keep our hats up here. At the back, because it's a bit further away, we keep a little container full of spare hardware things like clotheslines, clothes pegs, etc. We also have a vacuum cleaner at the back, and we also use the space up here for our jackets, rain jackets, warm jackets, and a few spare towels and linen. Okay, now Nick's going to show you how he's managed all the storage in the back of the motorhome.
Right. So we had to be a little bit careful about the amount of gear we tried to shove in here, so we just kept it to the basics. Tools and hardware and repair items. A soft bag of guy ropes and the like. We've got our ground mat, which is essential for when we want to sit outside under the awning. Keeps a lot of the dirt from getting inside of the van. Barbecue. It's got a flame failure device, so it's safe for use with motorhomes and caravans. It's really good. Good price, and it just came from Bunnings, so we're very happy with that one. And it's easy to get in and out of the van too, as you saw. So I've got a couple of little folding chairs, just in case you want to put your feet up. There's another one. We've got these round canvas containers. Who were they from? Aussie Traveller. Fantastic things. You put your silage hose in this one, and we've got water hoses, electric cable, and water bits and pieces in that one. 2 tables here, one for the barbecue to sit on and one for us to eat at. And I've got 2 folding chairs here, and I've attached a small string to them so that I can, if they wander down the front of the van, I can easily grab them and pull them out. Accessible from inside the van, well, we've got a bigger first aid kit and some bits of hardware that we may use occasionally, but we can get them from the inside, not from here. Okay, I'll just show you how quickly and easy it is to pack up. Firstly, we'll start with the barbecue. Pull that out a bit, put that on there, and then slide it in. Away it goes. Chairs. These bags go in. That's this one on top. Big bag. Toolbox. It goes on top of the barbecue, stops it rattling, and then you throw these in wherever they'll fit. Easy. So that's it. It's as simple as that to pack up. We've got everything we need for our travels on the road.
I hope you enjoyed watching today's video and was able to get something out of our experience with everything we've learned in setting up our motorhome. If you did, please be sure to like the video, hit subscribe, and stay tuned for all our adventures to come. Our next video will be a little trip that we took to Torquay to venture out to our daughter's surprise engagement proposal. Her boyfriend was under clear instructions about making sure that her engagement was a complete surprise, and the way he pulled it off was phenomenal. Stay with us. Let me share that significant occasion for my daughter and for my family with you. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe to our videos, and I'll see you next time.